In this episode, I fix our boost issue, then break the car with too much boost. Mackie fixes the car, and then I break it even worse.
Good golly, look at that. We done did some damage, huh? Why do we always have an issue with a leaky gate?
Related to each department. No problem, buddy. I think so.
Okay, so here is our wastegate. It is a precision unit. It's quite warm. This is our dump pipe. So this dump tube just goes on here and seats in. This was one of my first welding jobs actually with this this Tiggy boy. And well, it ain't leaking yet. So yeah, so our issue is that this valve is not, this little poppet valve is not seating all the way. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but can you guys see right there? You see how you can see a little daylight through there? Now, I don't know if there's supposed to be some amount of space or if this just isn't seated all the way. It's leaking past this out of here, and so this should be fully sealed at idle. So it should only open up at 7 psi and then start letting stuff through, but right now it's just letting stuff through at idle, so that's an issue. There's a possibility that the spring that's in here, Mackie put the spring in and maybe it's just a little crooked, or maybe it's not sealed properly. Either way, basically what we got to do is take this thing apart and then make sure it's sealed properly and then put it all back together. So I'm keeping this in a vise to keep the springs from popping this thing open and killing me. Alright, so here is our wastegate, and you can see this thing just pops up and down. The spring holds this down. This gets exhaust gas pushed on it from the manifold, and once the pressure exceeds the pressure that this spring can hold, it goes pop, and when it pops, it opens up, and boom, all the exhaust comes out of the wastegate. And that's how a wastegate works. Here are the springs for it. This big old spring sits in here, and there's this little mini helper spring in here just to get it to the exact pressure that you need. It doesn't actually look like there's anything wrong with it, which is kind of concerning. All right, so we figured it out. We didn't actually need to take all this off. There is this. This is the valve seat. It slides into the bottom and then it seats against the V-band and holds it in and then seals it up. So yeah, we're just big doofuses and we didn't do that. So that's all good. Now I just gotta put this stupid thing back together, which is always a bit of a mission. All right. We have our fully assembled gate, and we'll put our little fire ring in, little valve seat. Man, I swear, me and Mackie have been working on turbo cars for so long, but him and I always forget all the small stuff. It's amazing. There is our wastegate and the dump pipe. So we got the gate and the pipe. It's all hooked in. We got our line in, and yeah. All right, let's. Okay, take two. Now we definitely have the wastegate under control, so all the exhaust should come out of here. That is the sound of a
Okay, so always at the top, or
I'd say that's a job well done. Enjoy a nice cup of tea. Celebrate our victory. You doing an Odo swap?
Yeah.
Just
Car's gonna have 10,000 miles.
It's gonna be another bring a trailer 13,000 mile car.
Like the rest of those 13,000 mile cars.
We have some crimps going into some I don't know, some cut wires that are, oh okay, they're solid, secure connection. Is that electrical tape?
Yeah.
Wait, is that gauge held in with electrical tape?
Yeah.
Oh.
What the heck does this thing do?
It looks like the inside of a watch.
Yeah, it's like Japanese precision engineering.
I think Chinese is.
What are we doing?
I think we're throwing this in the trash. So, we have procured our backup boost gauge. Boost gauge setup is done. Let's see. Hey, look at that. We have a boost gauge. See which pipe we bust. Okay, we definitely busted some pipe.
Oh,
Yeah, right off the turbo. Here, let's see if we can't just push it back on. Parked up at this random school. Basically blew off the intercooler pipe. Mac, if you could light me up. The one right off of the turbo here. It just popped off as soon as I got into boost. Car felt great. It hit like 10 PSI. It just started to break traction and then I let off and went pop. And I figured it was a little too much sound for blow off valve. So yeah, we just need I have my German bendy one which I could put in there and do it, but we left it at home. Lost. Okay, let me call Babu. In all of your years working on cars like these, how many times have you been in this position?
every single time.
Yeah, pretty much the same for me
drive,
too.
always blow.
Yep, all the guaranteed you're gonna blow.
Find the weeks.
Gotta admit, looks pretty good. Whoa, the exhaust looks a lot lower than it's supposed to be though. Oh, you know what? It may have come off of that little hanger. Yeah, here at the back. Well, that was bound to happen. So that's another thing we should fix. Hello, mate! How nice of you to join us.
Fancy seeing you here.
Yeah, we're kind of dead. Alright, got the big camera. Got some tools. Here's the rescue car. Tool bag. Alright, let's do it. Alright. Brought every tool. Let there be ah! If you do not have a German bendy one, you need to get one. Look at this. Boom! Look at that. Look at the German bendiness of it. Is the hanger still there?
You bring zip ties.
Yeah.
Zip ties.
Oh,
I'm gonna get home.
I know, but like, you know we're gonna keep this on here for at least a few months. Alright.
You wanna drive it?
Yeah. Start it up, see if it starts.
I mean, why wouldn't it start?
I know, but come on, we gotta have some drama. Wow, it sounds great. Alright, back to the house. Shall we see how much boost we can get into? Should I pop it? You think it's vacuum leak?
Yeah. Did we tighten it after we put it on?
Yeah. Alright, here. Let's look at all the other pipes.
Alright.
Oh! Mate!
What?
Oh, come on, man. That one was fine. You made us do all this for nothing.
That one wasn't fine. It was out.
It was out. So we blew both of them.
Dang.
Alright, good. I brought a socket for that.
Come on, Rusty.
Pipes are coming off. They're all gonna have to be.
Also so dirty.
Was that one loose?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, I guess we'll see.
I think we're sure enough.
Yeah, that one should be right. Fairly safe. Spool noise is nice. May have bust another intercooler pipe. Worth it though.
So how much boost did you make?
I got to about 8 pounds and then I let off. I
Are
don't
you
know
sure?
if I popped another pipe. I should have noticed how much vacuum it was making. There's a chance that we popped another pipe, but it might have been a smaller leak under the lip. Mac, can you confirm this for me? Was this that one? It's come down, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, then that's what popped again. It wasn't enough to cause an issue. And this is just a really shitty coupler, so. Plan of attack should be to hairspray a couple of these. But other than that, yeah, it breaks traction immediately, but here's the thing. It's very lazy on boost. I feel like it stumbled a little, but like I really have to get into
It's
it.
got old gas, probably 2 years old.
Oh, so you think
Spark
it's
plugs
missing?
are
Like
probably from 1942.
Anyways, I'd say that was a pretty successful test drive, all things considered. We'll do a little bit of stuff tonight, and then maybe tomorrow we'll get a proper, successful, like smoky, nice tire shredding test drive. Yeah, we'll see.
You left like a huge cloud of smoke.
Yeah, your exhaust was pretty smoky.
That's the wrong thing that needs to be smoky.
I don't know, it had a lot of smoke coming out.
I saw the white smoke.
I saw like gray smoke.
Okay. Does this car have a head gasket that works?
Yeah.
Okay, well regardless, we'll keep running it and then we'll see what happens. But hey, yo, this thing gets loose. This thing wants to party, so I'm pretty happy about that. So it's the next day, and it is that intercooler pipe, the one right off of the turbo, that keeps blowing off, which makes sense. It's the elbow. So I did the old hairspray trick and cranked that bad boy on. You know, if it don't work with Suave, then it probably won't work at all. That's a good tagline, huh? So I did this pipe too, and then here, let me reconnect. So yeah, there's that, and then the only thing I'm concerned about is the blow-off valve is here, right? And so because of that, once the throttle plate closes, the air has to travel all the way down into here and then hit the blow-off valve to vent. And last time I think we busted off this pipe. So I think what's happening is when the air kind of hits here, it's really pulling the pipe pretty hard. So all these clamps need to be replaced. We need to replace them with worm gear clamps because T-bolt clamps suck. They only put high pressure here. Worm gear clamps do pressure all around. So, and I don't think these are properly bead rolled at the end either. So that's a whole thing. I'm gonna try to take it for another test drive and we'll see if we can't get this thing going proper. Okay, attempt number, I don't know, 3 or 4 or whatever this is now. It's pretty loud still, fairly drony. Check it out, look, I can have a window fully open and the wind buffeting isn't destroying my face. So, the boost gauge went to about 27 psi. You'd think the car would have hit boost cut, but we definitely blew an intercooler pipe. I can hear it dragging on the ground. So, let's go see the damage. Yep, same pipe, this bad boy. Oh, we tore it. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, that's no good. Yeah, that's That's what we call crappy silicone elbows. Good golly, look at that. We done did some damage, huh? Yeah, it definitely boosted pretty far. I'm gonna put that back together. I didn't bring any tape. I probably should have, but we might be able to get away with it. I'm not super sure. It might be enough to limp it home, but let's put that back together and see what happens. No staying on. My main concern is the fact that we hit a lot of boost. I hope we put the right springs in. You can just hear the leak. Okay, I think it's enough to limp home. So let's limp. We're limping home, guys. Really, this car is a sort of a testament to how Supras have been treated over the years. Basically, all of these cars have been used and abused to the point that, like this car, for example, like all these parts, the intercooler pipes, the silicone elbows, all that stuff, it was already on the car. The only thing we changed was the exhaust manifold, the turbo, and then the exhaust and stuff like that, right? We did all that, we made all that. So those parts, for the most part, are good. They haven't had any issues. Everything else, though, seems to be going wrong, and that's just the thing. When you buy somebody else's project, and the thing with buying a Supra is that they are all somebody else's project. You will be hard pressed. Like the red Supra that's sitting in our driveway that you see in the background of every episode, that's an example of a car that I know the history of all the way back to when it was bought new. Okay, that car I know has not been through all the garbage that this car has been. This car has traded hands so many times. It's been modded to hell and back. And so the issue now is just the fact that we're dealing with those problems. Basically all those demons of this car's past. Like the right thing to do would be tear everything out and replace everything. But of course, it's proper expensive. And that would take a little bit more time. And we're just trying to, again, this was the $10,000 Supra project. It was mad cheap. And so we're kind of doing this on a budget. Like all in, the Supra hasn't costed us more than, I want to say 13K, 14K, even with the parts, the turbo and the manifolds and everything. I mean, all in all, I'd say it's pretty successful. It's making mad boost, a little too much boost. I'm pretty sure I saw 23 PSI there, and that's extremely concerning because the gate pressure is set to 12 or 14 PSI. So seeing 20 is extremely concerning. 24 no less. We're seeing double the gate pressure. So that's something to look into. All in all, the car's coming together, even though it doesn't seem like it. I think the biggest thing is it's been a lot of fun, and I've learned already so much just putting this car together. Like I'm getting better at welding, figuring out more and more things that can go wrong, seeing the mistakes that have been made on this car helps open your eyes up to, okay, maybe things should be done this way. So now in the future, you know how things would be done correctly, or how you should do things correctly. Every Supra that we've had, even the red Monster Supra build, again, you can watch that over here, which we did years ago. It was a lot of the same. That car we bought with a blown head gasket. Turns out the head was warped. All sorts of stuff wrong with that car. And again, as we put it together, we're like, oh no, this is wrong, we need to fix this. Oh no, this is wrong, we need to fix this. And eventually we got to the point where we learned a lot about how to make that car and Supras in general just work a little bit better. This car is a little bit more of the same, and again, it's a little bit of a different situation. This car's in extremely poor condition. It's an automatic. Let's do a little sit rep of the of the damage we did today. So our little janky pipe held up reasonably well. Looks pretty much sealed. So I think we just leave it like that. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, it's totally gone. Yep. Yeah, honestly, like the state of a lot of these is probably that bad. I don't know if they're like crappy eBay ones or Amazon, whatever, garbage. Overall, how do I feel about it? Well, honestly, I'm okay. I think it went reasonably well enough. I mean, I would have preferred for all these things to not happen, but let's be honest, looking at the car, I mean, it's to be expected at this point, right? I really am hoping that we can get all new couplers, maybe either get a bead roller or just lay like a little bit of filler rod onto these pipes and make a bead, and then figure out if it is indeed the wastegate boosting that high. Because here's the thing, man, like with how everything is, like pipes blowing off and tearing in half and stuff like that,
Can't really get an accurate reading on boost. It did look like the gauge went up to like 25 psi. So like I would assume that, yeah, it's probably going up that far, but it is what it is. It was a fun first drive. As soon as it gets into boost, the car just rips out to the side. It's on like, I don't know, some crappy all seasons in the back. I dropped it into 2 gear, held second gear, and then it felt normal that time. So it felt pretty good on the first hit. So I'm pretty optimistic about how the car will drive once it's all sorted. The only thing is we just need to make sure that it's not overboosting, because that, you can blow up a motor doing that. That concludes this part of the build and this particular episode. It might be a little while before we can get more episodes out on anything, really. I'm gonna have to be going away for a little bit for some family stuff. If you want to support the channel, consider dropping a like, subscribing if you haven't already. We have like merchandise too, shirts, stickers, etc., etc. if you want to pick up some of that. Until next time, see ya.